girl you mad over a kiss while you were broken up? I don't know if I can fully side with old girl here. I don't. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Blue Therapy. I actually don't know what season to call this because there's the YouTube version, then there was the Netflix version, but this is not the same Netflix version. Anyways, this is episode 2 and 3. Okay, so before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. Don't mind my hair. We are currently doing my hair, which is why it's taking a while for these videos to come out, but I'm committed. Y'all showed some love to the first video, so we're gonna finish off the season. We're gonna start with Victor and Maria. So we see a scene of them at home, and Victor says he's speaking to Maria and her sister, and he says he has an issue with Maria sending money home to her family as if it is a monthly subscription. She then gets emotional because she feels like she has wasted 7 years of her life. And I would say yes. Yes, you have. And to clarify, it's not only because that they've been together for 7 years. There are lifelong boyfriend and girlfriends who make it work. If that's your portion, then fine. It's not Maria's portion, though. She doesn't want to be a forever girlfriend, but you stayed in a relationship with somebody who made it clear that marriage is not on his mind. You're with somebody who doesn't value the things that you value culturally, familially, relationally, like, girl, all the lees. And you're trying to still justify being with this man after all this time and him telling you categorically, I don't want to marry you. I know this thing is very important to you, but I don't want to marry you. Why are we still here? Any day you stay in this relationship past the point where he told you, I don't want to marry you, is a waste of time. Next is Mike and Yasmin. Mike says what he has been living off of is his severance. I don't know how long he expects his severance to last him, especially because he has a whole family to take care of, you would assume, but okay. He says the reason why he didn't want to speak up about what he was going through was because he struggles to speak about his emotions. He thinks that being vulnerable makes him weak. Whatever. So they are tasked to write down their feelings so they can debrief it in the next therapy session, right? We see them at home, and it's clear that Yasmin is very pissed off at Mike because of all of his lies.
First of all, I'm trying to tell you that I'm sorry.
How do you think I'm feeling?
Hurt.
I'm not having my financial situation be affected by your bad choices. I'm fuming because I'm the one that's gonna have to pick up the slack. I thought we were going there to fix problems, and now we've got more. Everything is up in the air for me right now.
I cannot deal with the woe is me. Oh, I'm so sad. I'm going through so much. Like, oh, I lost my job and I don't make enough money and the man is supposed to... Stop it. Actually, stop it. Because this is bigger than your ego being bruised. You are actively doing things that are putting your family in jeopardy. This girl has to micromanage you, micromanage your expenses, micromanage your coming and going, because you are putting her in a situation where she's going to be liable if anything detrimental happens financially in your relationship. She's the one who has to fit most of the bill. So if your bill is constantly increasing, who's going to have to pay that? She is. On top of that too, you are a father. Not a father of one, but a father of two. You're putting this woman in a situation where you might be in a dire place financially because of your recklessness. That's insane to me. So yeah, she has every right to be upset. I now have to pick up all the pieces. I have to clean up your mess. I have to come and make sure that we clear off the debt if that's possible. And also make sure the debt doesn't increase. That's a big problem. That's a big issue for you to lie about. And especially to lie about behind the guise of, oh, I struggle to be vulnerable. And my inferiority. Respectfully, your inferiority is going to have to take a back seat. You have to step up and be a responsible adult. I understand his money story, right? The issue that I have with him is the fact that he's acknowledging the things that he is actively doing to put his family in ruin, and he doesn't feel bad enough to want to change that. If it was you and only you had no kids, you had no partner, and you're spending all this money and your debt is increasing, whatever, it's just you. Still bad, but it's just you. You are setting an example for your future wife, if you do plan on marrying her, or for your kids, that you're a whatless man. Is that really what you want? He's out here talking about, oh yeah, a man has a certain image that he's supposed to obtain. Is this the image that you want your kids to have of you? Is this the image that you want your partner to have of you? Of your family to have of you? Look at how this person let his family just, just be in financial ruin because he couldn't manage his finances. Next, we meet Debbie and Kelvin. They have known each other for 10 years, but have been dating for 7 years. This is not to shame people who live together and whatnot, but because this woman says it is important for her to be in a relationship that does things like the right way, like first you date, then you get married, then you move in, then you have the kids, you have to live your life accordingly. If it is so important to you, that's the big problem that I have with that first couple. What's their names? Hold on. Victor and Maria. You're saying marriage is so important to you and a timeline or a sequence of events, let me say, is so important to you, then you have to live your life according to that. Like, create the best possible scenario for yourself to succeed in whatever this goal is of yours, right? So they are not living together. However, the issue that they're having right now is the fact that Kelvin has started a business that has consumed all of his time.
I feel like our relationship is falling apart. You're not understanding that you're slacking.
I wouldn't say necessarily falling apart. I'd say there's maintenance.
I don't really wear what you buy me. He can let me down,
Not.
but he won't let no one else down and cover it up with like a gift to say sorry. Kelvin does not think he will ever lose me.
Just gave me no reason to think that.
We learned that the reason why Kelvin is very precious about this business is because his mom had a business in the same building, but unfortunately she lost it in COVID, right? So he was able to get the building back and now run his own business. And now that he's experiencing this newfound success, he wants to make sure that it continues to grow. Debbie doesn't have an issue with this, but the fact that he has neglected her in the pursuit of all these business ventures is a problem for her, right? They've been together for so long. They have these future plans, and he's not setting a precedent that he's going to be able to balance relationship and business. So Debbie's feeling like the relationship is falling apart. She also takes issue with the fact that he has no problem letting her down. He has no problem disappointing her. But when it comes to certain clients or anybody he needs to relate to on a business standpoint, he has to make sure that they are pleased at all times. He has more issues with letting them down than letting his own partner down, and she doesn't like that. So in response, this guy tries to like buy gifts and stuff, right? So he would maybe get her flowers to apologize, and she's like, well, I don't want the flowers, I don't want the gifts, like just keep that. And he, in his confessional, is like, well, I don't understand why it's coming off wrong when I'm getting her gifts. Isn't it that a good boyfriend gets a girlfriend gifts? If every gift is an apology, keep the gift. If you are not coming with a true apology along with the gift and then change behavior, keep the damn gift. Debbie says on top of Kelvin not being a present boyfriend, he has the audacity to keep tabs on this girl to the point where she's feeling like he is starting to be controlling.
He always knows where I am, calling me quite
How does that
constantly,
feel?
getting a bit much for me.
I wouldn't pin it as controlling.
No?
You're gonna send me the car now.
Send you a car.
Yeah, I'm sending you a car.
I allow my women to, be a woman. A woman wants a leader, Would you rather I didn't care?
This man is weaponizing things that are supposed to make women, or more specifically his woman, feel good. And he's now using it to guilt her. Like, he'll get the gifts, not because he's thinking about her, though that he's trying to make it seem that way. He's like, no, I got the gift because you were on my mind. No, you got the gift because you did something wrong. And instead of owning up to your behavior, instead of giving an actual apology, you just want to give the gift and hope that that smooth things over. Then he's like, I thought that's what good boyfriends do. Good boyfriends buy their girlfriend's gifts. Please. Then he's going to keep tabs on her, like check her location all the time, not because he's concerned about, where she's at or whatever, but he wants to make sure he can keep an eye on her whenever she's out. Then when he feels like she's been out for too long, he will send a car and demand that she get in that car and get her ass home. And then he's going to say, well, as a caring boyfriend, I don't want her to be out late. I don't want her to be unsafe. I want to make sure she has a ride home. He's trying to make it seem like he's doing this out of concern for her, but it's just so he can have his thumb on her. Let's be so real about that, okay? So then he's going to say that he always thought that his mom was a hustler, and he unfortunately felt like he missed out on having a proper relationship with her because she was constantly focused on business. And he had made a vow to himself that he wasn't going to do that. Yet here he is actively doing that. Your girlfriend is telling you, you once made time for me, but once this business became a priority, I was like irrelevant. I became obsolete in this relationship. And he's like, no, that's not the case. She's literally telling you that that's the case. So then he's going to say to her, oh, do you want me to pick between business and you? No, she never said that. All she said was, it would be nice for you to have a balance between your business and your relationship. This man, he's manipulative. He really is. Because even with the business stuff, he's going to make it seem like, oh, I'm doing this for our future. No, you're doing this for selfish reasons. And don't get me wrong, go ahead and focus on the business, but then cut her loose. Don't gaslight her to make it seem like you're putting in an effort when you're really not. So she's thinking to herself like, okay, maybe he's not ready for a relationship right now. And that's okay. I really appreciate this girl, yeah? Because she has her principles and she's sticking to them. I don't know why they've been dating for so long, but she still feels like there's a specific timeline you're supposed to follow. And even though they've been together for so long, she's sticking to that principle, right? Even now, she's like, I do love you, but if the business is going to take priority over me, how about I fall back until you sort this out? And then we can figure things out later. I like that. Next is Jay and Daisy. They admit that they haven't spoken much since their therapy session, but it is their daughter's birthday, so they are debriefing some of the things that happened during their session. Daisy takes this opportunity to apologize for being combative instead of taking time to listen to Jay's perspective. And I'm like, okay, all right, okay. Is Jay gonna accept the fact that leaving his girlfriend for 4 hours post-delivery is wrong? If we're making apologies here, if we're acknowledging our wrongdoing, is he going to do that? No, he's not. So in their next therapy session, we find out that the trust issues go deep. These two feel like they're both lying to each other, and they're also doing things tit for tat to each other. It's just a mess.
There was a time we'd broken up. I knew something was fishy. Calling every 10 minutes turned into every 30 seconds. He posted a snap, so I've sent it to him. The snap had a girl's voice in it. There is clear evidence that you were with the girl.
I was doubling down on that lie. I was never gonna admit it, I'll be honest.
Daisy admits that she goes through Jay's phone often because she doesn't trust him. And she wants to fact check certain things that she's been feeling. And the way to do that is to go through his phone. If you feel like you gotta do this to keep tabs on your man, just end the relationship. Like, I don't understand. Having trust issues that project this much in a relationship is so exhausting. A lot of people come from situations where they are hesitant to, fully trust the person that they're with, which is understandable. But that's something that you talk about and you try to work through and you try to build the trust in your relationship. But instead, you're going to enforce behavior that makes him wanna lie, which then perpetuates the trust issues that you have. And now we're in this cycle. So she suspects that when they were on a break, well, technically they had broken up, but they're considering it a break because they ended up getting back together because she was pregnant, right? So when they had broken up, he was talking to this girl and she was calling, texting, and Jay doesn't want to respond. So she feels like there's more to that story. Jay, on the other hand, was like, well, I think you're lying about some stuff too, because I also went through your phone. I also went through your phone and I discovered that you were being very friendly to this producer person. So already these two are doing the same thing. They don't trust each other. They go through each other's phones. They lie about their behavior that they're doing, which then perpetuates the trust issues. In his confessional, Jay does admit that he lied, which is crazy to me because Daisy found hard evidence. She showed him this evidence and he still lied to her face. And then in the confessional, he's gonna say, yeah, I did lie, but I'm doubling down because I don't wanna get caught. That is some scary behavior. In the face of hardcore evidence, you are still going to lie? Craziness. So then the therapist, Karen, she's like, okay, I'm going to give you guys an exercise. Say the thing that you are afraid to say to your partner, and your partner has to say, thank you for that information. It's important to me, right? Or something like that. So she says that she didn't like his locks. Fine. He says that that his friends think that she's crazy. She's like, honestly, I kind of suspect it. But then he admits to kissing this girl that she already knew he was entertaining, but he had been lying about.
We did kiss.
Okay.
Daisy,
Is she not meant to say the thing?
give her a moment.
Are you being serious? You do me, I do you. This is your karma. The guy that I was gonna go out with, that's not the first date we've organized.
Hey, look.
That's fine, you kissed her, so.
I'll be so honest, I was assuming that Jay would have slept with this girl because they had been broken up. It seemed like he didn't have the intention of getting back with her. He did know that she was pregnant, so maybe that's what kept him from wanting to have sex with somebody else. But I was like, girl, you mad over a kiss while you were broken up? I don't know if I can fully side with old girl here. Is it that deep? Like, yeah, it's hurtful. I acknowledge the hurt that she might have been experiencing, especially with the heightened emotions being pregnant. But like, y'all was broken up. He had every right to do whatever he wanted to do with somebody else, hurtful as that behavior may be. Then we come to find out that she was doing her own hurtful stuff because whoever she was messaging while they were broken up, she had orchestrated a few dates for them to meet up and have. However, she didn't follow through with it. But she feels like because she didn't follow through, they're not in the same boat. You are. You had been broken up and you started entertaining other people. To what extent you take that is your own business, but you're doing the same thing. So he gets upset with her like, no, that's wrong. You're dead wrong for that. She's upset with him because, wow, you really kissed that girl? Y'all were broken up. So here goes therapist Karen. She's like, I hope you guys understand that you're in the same boat. He's like, nah, we're not in the same boat. How are you in different boats? How are you in different boats? Y'all want to do tit for tat. Y'all want to entertain people while y'all broken up, but y'all are not in the same boat. Y'all both are checking each other's phones, but y'all are not in the same boat. Y'all both have trust issues and you're both lying to each other, but y'all not in the same boat. I'm struggling to understand how this couple doesn't understand that they're doing the same thing to each other and you're hurting each other more and more. I don't think that they should be together. I don't. And I'm taking this show as if it's a real show. We know, listen, come on now. Therapy shouldn't even be filmed like this to begin with. But like, y'all shouldn't be together for real. Y'all were put together because you were expecting a child. And that's why in the first video I said I take issue with people forcing a relationship due to a child. If you already wanted to do that, then fine. But let's focus on co-parenting first and foremost. Because the messier this gets, the less stable of an environment you create for your child. We meet a new couple. They are Dami and Germaine. They have been together for 13 years and married since 2020. So Dami used to be a go-getter, life of the party, you know, businesswoman, traveling the world, all this stuff. However, since she got married, she became a stay-at-home mom, right? So Germaine has these businesses, and it seems like since homegirl became a stay-at-home mom, business has been booming. So that's causing a bit of tension in their relationship. Jermaine says that because work has been more demanding, unfortunately, he doesn't have the same amount of time that he used to spend at home with his family and kids. I think they have 2 kids together, a 3-year-old and like a 3-month-old or something like that. And she says, well, I'm carrying a lot of the weight when it comes to parenting, and that's not fair. Jermaine is also requesting that Dami become more submissive.
Which bit's not fair?
All of it. Like, we're more flatmates than we are a married couple.
I'm doing everything I can for my family. I don't think I should be penalised for being hardworking.
I had to do the bath, I had to do the nighttime routine. Now I feel like we've fallen into the 1950s.
With this relationship, I think the main issue is resentment. So this guy wants to take respite away from his family, which not the best look. You know, you could take time with your family. Your wife Yeah, they are married. Your wife has been spending time with the kids all day long. Being a stay-at-home parent is a full-time job, a very exhausting one at that. I'm sure she would like a break as well. Y'all could take a break together. Have a date night. Send the kids with the grandparents if that's a possibility, or hire a babysitter or something. So I understand that his business is getting hectic and stuff, but like those times that you want to decompress from work, you can do that with your wife. That is an option. I don't remember if he was like lying about going to the Usher concert or something like that. It was also wild that Karen was like, "Oh, is Usher a band?" Girl, please. We already take issue with the fact that this show has a white therapist. Let's not do that. But the fact of the matter is, you could be spending more quality time with your family, especially to relieve your wife, who is going through a lot right now. Life has changed very drastically in a short amount of time, right? She also says that they did speak about her being a stay-at-home mom, but this was only supposed to be a 2-year plan. I don't know how this plan would have worked out because they have more than one child. Like, are you going to do 2 years per child, or just 2 years flat, and then the rest of the kids, they're just gonna have to duke it out? I don't know. I think it would have been important for them to speak about what their expectations would have been transitioning into stay-at-home parent, sole working parent, right? I also think it would have been important to have a conversation of, okay, this is our expectation, but we're going to revisit this conversation once reality sets in, because what was a 2-year plan is now a 3+ year plan, right? So I do need you in this way. This is the expectation that I hold when it comes to how I need you to show up for me while I am transitioning in this part of my life. But they didn't have that conversation. But I think there's still a chance. Him doing the whole like, oh, I need her to be submissive thing, I'm gonna need you to elaborate, because what do you mean? What more do you want from old girl? Like, I don't understand. Like, because she was a go-getter and stuff like that, you want her to suppress that side of her? I don't know. I have yet to gain more context with that. But spend more time with your wife. Spend more time with your wife. Give your wife a day off. Maybe twice a month where she has no responsibility to you or the kids whatsoever. Give her a little piece of herself back. Because to go from all that she was doing to solely being a wife and mother, that has to be a shock to the system. And I really do feel for her. Things get a little bit worse because they talk about intimacy not being the best anymore. They have not slept in the same room in 9 months. So you could assume that sex is not as frequent as it used to be.
Neither of you, actually, are making the time for connection.
You can't just turn up at 11 o'clock and knock, can I come at night? Like, you need to, like, open up shop, pull up the shutters, you know?
I think I'll prefer a 24-hour service.
Well, intimacy doesn't work like that.
Thank you. It doesn't work like that. I'm not a robot.
I forgot that this is where the submissiveness comes into play a little bit. So this nasty man is going to say that he expected sex to be available on tap 24/7. 24/7. You just expected sex to be available to you all day, every day. So after your long day of work, you think that she's been sitting on her ass doing nothing, and she's just ready to free up the pum to you whenever you desire it. You've been together for 13 years, and you didn't know that sex was a buildup? You didn't know that you need to woo the girl? You didn't know that you need to rev up the engine a little bit? Like, please. I'm so curious to know how sex was before they had kids, because he's making it seem like it's only now that they have kids that, oh, sex is just such a task. But like, it probably always took a little bit more than just, hey, let's have sex. You need that foreplay. You need that, you know, those little bids for affection throughout the day and all. Like, whoa. If that's what he's saying she needs to improve on regarding submissiveness, that's insane to me. Then he's going to be irritated because he feels like Karen is only concerned about, what's the wife's name? Sorry, this is the new couple. Karen is only concerned about Dami's feelings. But then he says he hates being vulnerable because he doesn't want to talk about his feelings. You hate being vulnerable because you don't want to talk about your feelings, but then you're upset that the therapist is only prioritizing one person's feelings. Well, maybe if you address said feelings, we can talk about them. If you are a stone wall, there's only so much she can do. Therapy works best for people who are receptive. Last, we have Sheay and Monz. These two have been together for 2.5 years, and Monz is the one who brought Sheay to therapy. So Sheay loves the streets, loves them down, okay? She loves to hang out with the boys, go out on the town, get some attention when you're out on the street. Like, she loves that, and Monz cannot stand it.
I cheated on her.
How did she find out?
She never came home. And at this point, we lived together. Uncontactable.
You'd worked out a story?
Yeah. My friend was going through something. I had to go and support her. You can't say you was with this friend, because I spoke to them already. Already checked in with her family, already checked in with her friends. Now they're also worried.
1.5 years into their relationship, Sheay did cheat. I don't know to what extent the cheating was, because Monz has a very interesting perspective on what cheating is. But either way, Sheay will accept the one time she categorically cheated. So according to Monz, cheating is anything you have to hide from your partner. That's cheating. That's interesting to me, because I feel like that's more of like a relationship violation, but what I count that as cheating, not necessarily. So I can see why Sheay is like, I'm not gonna accept more than one time. One time, I'll claim it, but more than once, I don't know. The fact of the matter is, there are things that Sheay does that obviously she has to hide from Monz for Monz to even claim that there are all these cheating instances, right? So if you cheated on your partner, you have to understand that going forward, there's going to be some paranoia. They're going to wonder, where are you? What are you doing? Why haven't you been responding to my messages? Why aren't you picking up my calls? What's going on? I feel like you're cheating on me again. They might not say that, but obviously that's where that mindset is coming from. And Shay's going to say, oh, well, I just don't pick up the calls because I don't want to have the questions. But in you not picking up the calls, it's causing more questions. It's causing more paranoia. It's causing more distrust. To make matters worse, Shay's going to admit that she likes a little bit of temptation. You know, when somebody comes up to her and flirts with her, she's like, wow, you're really confident. I'm going to play into whatever this is. And you think Monz is crazy for being paranoid when you are out of the house? Are you serious? Now, where Monz loses me is she will not only call Sheay, like blow up Shay's phone, she'll blow up all the friends' phones. If you have to be this on your partner about their whereabouts, let it go. Let it go. And as much as I do agree that Sheay has a responsibility to be more forthright about where she is at, what she's doing, because of behavior that she did, because of something that she got caught doing, yeah, you do have to give your partner more reassurance. If your partner feels like they have to chase you down and contact every single person who's out with you to locate you, that's a problem too. It's equally a problem here. Monz also said there were people from Shay's past that, you know, came out of the woodwork once they became official and were like, yeah, by the way, Sheay is a gallus, okay? Sheay is out here. Sheay is probably cheating on you. Sheay was probably talking to multiple people right now, before you, after you, during you, in you, out of you, all the yous. Like, Sheay be out here. So I do feel for Monz, but if you cannot trust this person to the point where you have to keep tabs on them the same way that that guy was keeping tabs on his girlfriend, the relationship is not worth it. I guarantee you that. But we'll see what happens. I think that's all the couples now. I didn't see anybody new in the picture. I didn't see anybody who we haven't seen yet. So we'll see what develops between these couples. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.